Hi everybody, my name is Henk. I'm from SpookFM, an Amsterdam-based audio and music production company. We've been working on sound design for a virtual reality film. I want to show you how we work. We've made a little tool for that. It's right here on the screen. It's a synchronization tool for Colorize and Reaper. Colorize is a 360 video player. Here in the top right corner. A Reaper is a digital audio workstation. Can work very well with Ambisonics audio, because it supports audio tracks with a lot of channels, up to 64. But in this case, we need 4 channels per track, because we're going to work with first order Ambisonics. And I'm going to show you how we do it. First, I'm going to load a video into the Colorize player. It's kindly provided by the Amsterdam Film Company. It's shot from the Papaya Lodge in Uganda. And the sound has been recorded with a GoPro. There's some action going on there. Somebody's diving into the water and swimming. So we're gonna make some sound design for this video. First, we're gonna have to set up our Reaper project. I'm gonna put on my headphones. It is advised to put on your headphones as well, because this system is gonna work for headphones only. Because we assume that when people watch VR, they put on headphones as well. We need a 4-channel master track. Turn off master parent send here. Make this track a 4-channel track. Call it master. And give it a red color. Now, Ambisonics is a full sphere surround technology, but the channels do not correspond to any speaker feeds, so it needs to be decoded when you listen to it, and then you can decode it for a stereo setup, speakers for a 5.1 setup, for binaural listening, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to have to insert another track, and I'm going to call it listen back decoder. I'm going to turn off master parent send here as well, and I want to receive all the audio from the master channel, all 4 tracks. We're going to work with the Ambisonic toolkit. It's a really available toolkit to work with Ambisonics. So here on the effects, I'm going to filter this list for the Ambisonic toolkit, decoder, binaural, put that on there, and then you select your head-related transfer function that you like. In my case, I'm going to go for the spherical 6. And we're going to have to send this to the hardware output to which your headphones are connected. In my case, this is channel 1 and 2. And this needs to be a 4-channel track as well. 4 input to output, because it's going to be decoded to left and right headphone feed. And this full sphere surround technique of Ambisonics can be viewed as like sound all around you in a sphere. And just like when we look around in this video, we want this sound field to turn with it, to correspond with it. In order to get that done, we need to add another effect here on the listen back system, and that is the rotate, tilt and tumble plugin. I'm going to put that before the decoder. And this Ambisonics plugin can rotate the sound field on all 3 axes. And I'm going to reset this for now. And we want to have that correspond to our field of view here in Colorize. Now, in order to do that, we use the SpookSync, and it works like that. We set it up so that it receives information from Colorize, Here in the colorize menu, you can select UDP communication, and you need to set it up like this. It's going to be the master. It's going to send out UDP data on the local host on port 8000. You can choose another one. I've set it up for 8000. And the packet format is JSON. If you change something there, you need to restart colorize. But I'm going to leave it like this, so I don't need to restart. And then we're going to send some information here that we receive from colorize to Reaper. First, we're going to set up Reaper so that it receives OSC data. Here, Reaper preferences. And then we scroll down to control surface. We're going to add a control surface. And the control surface mode is going to be Open Sound Control. Device name, we're going to say this is going to receive information from the SpookSync. And receive on port 9000, and you have to check the box allow binding messages to Reaper actions and effects learn. Press OK. Receive on port 9000 because here the SpookSync is set to send out on port 9000. Then here there's a learn section in the SpookSync. We're gonna have to send individual data first so that we can teach Reaper which data is meant for which control. Here we're gonna send pitch. And we see the green light turning up, so it sends information to Reaper. Pitch is this movement here in colorize, looking up and down. So that needs to correspond to here on the listen back decoder. On the tumble, here you see the sound field moving up and down. So we want to link those two, this control to this control. So we go to the automation section, and then here we want to learn tumble, learn pitch. You say OK. Then open the effect. Now this is linked. We're going to have to do that for this movement as well. So SpookSync, we're going to not send pitch anymore, but only the yaw. So this movement. And we do the same for the rotate function, learn. It says command yaw. OK. So when we turn them both on and open up this rotation plugin, we see that this corresponds. Now, it's great. Then there's some more information that needs to be synced, which is play state. So whenever we press play in colorize, Reaper also starts to play. And then there's position data here on the timeline of colorize. And that is, of course, the transport sync, but we can now just turn it all on. And then when we press play here, Reaper also starts to play. So now this is all synced up. And we can start building our scene. First I'm going to turn the sound off in colorize. And build the sound here in Reaper. First we're going to start with some background noises. So I'm going to insert a new track. This is going to be a folder track, I think. I'm going to turn off master parent send. Call this background ambience. I'm going to insert a few more tracks. Maybe 4. I'm going to background front left, background front right, background and background surround right. These all need to be 4-channel tracks. And when you click master parent send, they're going to send their audio to their folder parent. And here you can say we sent this to the master. Oh, it is only a 2-channel track, so 4 channels. So we can start adding some sounds to this. Here's some ambience. Maybe first see where the video ends. Right there. So here's some reference. Gonna uncheck the transport on off, which is gonna give me some liberty to move around here in Reaper. Seen there. So I move these all around a bit to get different timings. Yeah. Now we can encode this. This is basically just a stereo track, and we need to position it somewhere in the sound field. So we're gonna encode it to Ambisonics using a stereo encoder. And I want this only to be like a quarter the sound field. I'm gonna rotate this. Yeah. Front left sound field. To the next track. We can rotate this to the other side, so that's front right. This one right over there. And when we lower the sound a bit, we have a surround. And if ambience feel that suits the scene. Another great thing here is that if I stop Reaper and we enable the transport sync, we have another element there, which is this cloth flapping. So I want to get a sound for this cloth flapping in the wind. It's basically also like an ambience thing. It's gonna go on all the time, all throughout the video. We skip through it. So that can just run in the background. So I call this cloth wind. There it is. This is also a stereo sound. I'm going to encode this to Ambisonics with a stereo encoder. Maybe put first some EQ there. To filter some of the low end off and take some of the high end. So we're going to play the video. As you can tell, it's now not yet in the right location. The encoder needs to be after. So make this a bit smaller. This is not a 4-channel track yet, so that's why we don't hear any positional information. In output, we have to send it to the master. Now we have some positional information, so if I turn this around. So we still have to put it in the right spot. Now looking at it, it's right there. So we're gonna add a rotator. So approximately there, to the right of us, to the left of us. There we go. So now when we look over there, we can hear in our right ear this cloth flapping. Now it's there on our left here. We can keep on building this scene now. So as you can see, now we've been building up the scene. There's the background ambience. You hear some insect sounds, some wind, the cloth flapping in the wind. This is diving in the water. I've made some markers here on the top for every event. Swimming going on. I use automation to make movement. I'll play the video and we'll see. You can hear this cloth now on your right, on your left, I mean. When I skip through the video, oh no, here's water testing. And here we go to the dive. Some swimming. You can see the movement of the swimmer. And swimming back. It's there. And then climbing out of the water. I stop this video. Now we need to export it. Well, there's starting to a few ways of getting this out into the world. This positional audio and putting it under your video in apps. And one way is to use 3Dception's plugins in Unity. They can convert B format to binaural audio, and they ask for 2 stereo files with the B format Ambisonics. So I'm gonna make 2 tracks here. Oh, right at the end, I hope. Yes, 2 tracks. I'm gonna call it export 3Dception file 1, which is the W and X information. And file 2 is Y, which is left-right information, and Z, which is up and down information. You can put it above the master, and then you need to send the master track to these. I'm going to the in output, add a new send. The first 2 tracks of the master we want to send to the first file, so I'm just going to add these 1, 2 to 1, 2. And the other one, we want 3 and 4 to go to 1 and 2. So that would be export for 3Dception. We could also make an export for MilkVR. They use another system. They don't have height information, but they ask for a 5.1 file. We call it MilkVR export, or maybe export. There will be other standards and new things, but B format can be converted probably to most things that will come up. For this we need this, we need a decoder, 5.0 decoder from the Ambisonic toolkit. MilkVR uses the ITU 5.1 layout, left, right, center. On the website it says still something other order, but I checked with them and this is the correct order. Of course, we need it to be a 6-channel track, and it receives from the master all 4 channels, and I'm going to turn it into 6 channels. Now export works like this. Select the channels that we want to export. This doesn't need to go anywhere, by the way, so we turn off master and parent send, and we make a selection. Then we go to render. We say we just want the stems, the selected tracks. The render bounds is the time selection. File name, I call this to be the names of the tracks. Sample rate 48 kilohertz. I can put it on the desktop. Here we go. That's done. Can be shown in Finder. Here's the 3 tracks. So that's how you can make a 360 surround sound design using Ambisonics audio for a cinematic VR or 360 film.